Hey, I'm Jmcrofts. I am a professional fighting game YouTuber and commentator, and this is Ask a Pro. What's my research process for my videos? For example, my strange guest character videos, how did I find them? So usually I try to do videos that I already know stuff about. Like for that video, I knew in my head, I was like, I gotta have the car from Fighters Megamix. So a lot of them I already have in mind, but a lot of it is also just Google. I just Googled guest characters in fighting games and found a wiki article and went through them and was like, that was kind of weird. I try not to do stuff that I don't already have knowledge about, because either I'm gonna get something wrong or it just sounds fake if I'm talking about something I don't actually know anything about. So yeah, pretty much just Google and then years of acquiring random knowledge. TF Ablaze guy asks, what's my favorite type of fighting game content that I enjoy watching? You know, this is a big one because I pretty much watch content all the time. I literally think I watch 8 hours of YouTube a day. I think my favorites are, I really like watching obviously top players like Brian F and stuff like that, Nephew. Those guys make really entertaining videos. It's just fun to watch good players do well. But I also like stuff that's kind of similar to the kind of content I make, where it's exploring deep stuff in a game. Guile Winquote, I feel is a lot of YouTubers' favorite YouTuber, and he's one of mine as well. I like the deep dives on weird esoteric stuff. But at the end of the day, if someone's passionate and that comes through in the video, that's the main thing that I like, because that's what I like to make too. Landman asks, if I could make any fighting game have a successful competitive community, which would it be? I think my answer for this is Virtua Fighter, just because I think we really need another 3D game. Tekken has been the biggest 3D game for so long, and it hasn't really had anything with it. So Virtua Fighter would be awesome, especially since there's so much Virtua Fighter stuff happening right now. Combat Kid 619 asks, what are the most important aspects of a fighting game in my opinion? I think one of the biggest ones is just having cool characters that draw you in and you want to play. I think there are some games where, the gameplay on paper seems good, but just none of the characters really attract me. And I feel like Street Fighter 2, one of the reasons why it was one of the biggest games ever and completely reshaped the fighting game community, was because all the different characters felt so unique and you really wanted to play them. Blue Kuma 68 asks, simple, Mai or Chun-Li? I am a Capcom shill at heart, so I think I gotta go with Chun-Li, but Mai's cool too. I'm excited to play Mai in SF6 soon. Zach Switch asks, despite being a fighting game player, how can I find love? I'm afraid it's over for you. You pretty much just have to accept that you have the love of the game and satisfy yourself with that, I guess. Judge Wrecked asks, this is a very metaphysical one. Life is full of regrets, but you have to keep moving forward. When I think back today, what decision in my career do I regret most, and what would I have done differently? I think in terms of being a YouTuber, I wouldn't do anything differently. I really, really enjoy my life and my job and everything I do, and I really wouldn't want to change anything, to be honest. Obviously, there are mistakes that I've made, but I think I've learned from them and they've helped me in the long run. The one thing I would do is I would not main T-Hawk in Super Street Fighter 4. That was a huge mistake, and I should have just stuck with Chun-Li instead of switching to T-Hawk. He was terrible in that game. Silver Dono asks, at the beginning, how did I balance my time and life between work and content creation? It was really hard. So for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 years, I would go and work my 9 to 5 and then come home and make a video. And I did that almost every day, and it was really, really hard. I think part of it was, I was a younger man then. I was in my early 20s, so I had more energy for stuff like that. And nowadays, I don't know if I would still be able to do that. It would be really hard. It's definitely difficult. I think when you're starting out as a creator, that's when the grind is most intense, because there are so many people all trying to make a name for yourself. So you really feel like you have to work hard. But I would say just don't go too hard. Don't burn yourself out. And at the end of the day, I think it's more important to have good content that is unique and sets your personality out for people to see. That's more important than just grinding out hardcore and doing a new video every single day. Okay, Sizzoman asks, you've commentated a lot of Kusoge over the years. Which one is the most cursed? Your bet is on Blandia. Yeah, Blandia is definitely up there. That game is very, very cursed. There was another one called Ahari Manada, which was a sumo wrestler game, which was kind of fun, but the thing is 90% of the game is just mashing the button as fast as you can, so it gets really tiring and kind of random. A game that I never commentated, but I think is one of the most cursed ever, has to be Dino Rex. Have you guys seen Dino Rex? That game's graphics and audio just like assault you. It's brutal, and the buttons don't feel like they work the way they should. So yeah, I'm gonna do honorable mention Dino Rex. Commander asks, what is the best topic to focus on during mid-match commentary? Honestly, I think the best topic is your co-commentator, right? Like, I feel like a common mistake that newer commentators make is that they have like things that they want to say and they just kind of shut out their co-commentator and wait for their turn to talk so they can say the thing they want to say. And it makes things feel super weird. Pay attention to what your co-commentator is saying. Use that as a jumping off point. Respond to what they're saying. That's the most important thing, and I think really you can talk about anything and have it be entertaining as long as you guys are kind of like working as a cohesive group together. Loaf asks, I want to hear more about JM's Skullgirls days and also what's my favorite blockbuster in the game. Me and my friend Jay, shout outs to Jay, my senior year of college, I lived on campus during the summer and I only took like one class. And literally every day we just grinded Skullgirls for like 8 hours. So I was really obsessed with that game when it was brand new. I played it all the time. My favorite blockbuster, you know, there's a character I don't play, Big Band. Like, his level 5 is legendary, right? Big Band needs an honorable mention for, yeah, his ability to play any song you want. Like, that's just insane. But in terms of characters that I actually play, I really like Peacock's Bomb Super. I just think it's really fun to have like setups of like, oh, the bomb's going to explode. And I really like moves that instantly focus the attention of the match on this thing. Like, bro, this bomb's going to explode and you better have a plan for when that's going to happen. Varia M asks, when it comes to commentary versus YouTube, how do I present myself? Do I speak or act differently from one to the other? I think I mostly talk pretty much the same. But again, kind of like I said, like a big focus on commentary is letting the other person talk and like having a conversation between you, which is obviously not something I do when I'm making a YouTube video by myself, but otherwise I feel like I mostly talk the same. I don't know, you guys let me know. Do I sound the same? IT Noetic asks, when playing against a new player, do I try to meet them where they're at, pick a side character, or do I pick a main and run all the knowledge checks so they play the real game? I think really the best answer to this is just ask. Like, if you know that they want to learn and they like, you know, there's an awareness that there's a skill gap, I would just ask like, do you want to fight my main? And if they say yes, I'm going all out. If they say no, then maybe I'll go a little bit easy. But if it's a situation like here, like it's a casual setup and like someone just comes up to the casual setup, I'm just going to play my main because I just want to practice. But yeah, if it's kind of like you're in a situation where it feels like, you know, someone is new to the game or wants to learn, I would usually just ask what they want. Because some people, like, if you play your side character or, like, sandbag, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's a little offensive. It's like, yeah, you're condescending to them or whatever. So, yeah, I would just ask. Okay, Michael Klozinski asks, do I fuck with cinnamon sugar and butter on toast? When I was a kid, not so much lately. I'm kind of just a peanut butter on toast guy. Keep it simple. Julian UM2OM asks, what is my dream fighting game? Do I think it's likely to be made anytime soon, or are there factors that prevent it from happening right now? Honestly, for a long time, my dream fighting game was a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 re-release, and they did that. So I guess my dream fighting game is Marvel vs. Capcom 4. I don't know. We'll see if that can ever happen. He also asks, what's the biggest shift I've had to make in my content over the years? Something wasn't working that I had to drop a trend or to adapt to. I think I'm constantly adapting to trends. Or like, I'll try a new video that's like experimental and it does really well and it's like, oh, I'll just make more of those. Or it doesn't go that well and I'm like, okay, we'll scrap that idea and try something else. So I'm always changing stuff. I mean, I used to just do like gameplay videos where I would just hop on ranked and play for 30 minutes and make that the video. I don't really do that anymore because I feel like now, as my channel has grown, viewers expect like scripted content, edited content. They expect a higher effort level than just playing matches. So I've moved away from that, but yeah, I would say in YouTube in general, if you want to be successful, when you're trying to grow, you do kind of have to like see what's doing well, see what types of videos your audience responds to, and try to cater to that a little bit. Manuel Sputnik asks, how often do I practice my great smile? I actually get comments a lot where people are like, bro, like you literally smile for like the entirety of all your videos. That is true. And like, I'm not faking it. It's just, I don't know. Talking about fighting games is fun. Why wouldn't I smile? It's fun, guys. Zara Nell asks, what's my favorite type of fighting game history to cover? Less known and obscure games, odd quirks, jankiness of older titles, notable retired players that newer FGC members probably don't know about. I think it's all of the above. I think I'm definitely passionate about, like, I don't want the old stories in the FGC to die. Like, I want people to know about, like, Alex Valle versus Saber, like, classic matches like that. I want people to know about, like, oh, this random game that you've never heard of that actually had all these ahead of their time ideas. Like, I really want those things to be preserved somewhere so they're not just, like, lost to history. So that's probably the thing I'm most passionate about, but pretty much all the videos I make, I enjoy making them to some degree, or else I just wouldn't make the video if it wasn't fun to make. Some roguish chick asks, what makes a good content creator or other video coach like FDX does compared to me or Lord Knight? Being a good content creator, I think the most important things are, like, have a compelling idea, have something that you just hear this idea and that makes you think that that would be a good video, and just being able to, like, have your personality come through and, like, something that makes your content unique, whether it's your sense of humor, your skill as a player, like something that, you know, it's like, why would I choose to watch this person's video over everyone else? I think that's really important. Dogma's Domain asks, what's the best advice I could give to up-and-coming content creators, and when should you give up? Well, I think it depends on what you want to accomplish. Like, if you just make videos for the love of the game, I don't think you ever have to give up, right? Like, you can make videos that get 50 views and be perfectly happy with it. Just because something doesn't have a huge audience doesn't mean that it's a waste of time. But if you want to do it as a profession, I think you should already know if it's viable before you commit to it. Like, don't quit your job to be a content creator if you won't be able to make ends meet doing it. So yeah, I would give up kind of before you start in terms of you know, putting all your eggs in one basket. But best advice I would give, kind of like what I said earlier, just have something that makes you unique. There's a million guys out there doing Road to Master, Road to Warlord, whatever. Why would I watch your video? Give me a good reason. So yeah, something that sets you apart. Axel Hunter 321 asks, if Street Fighters spin off of crossover games like Street Fighter EX, Pocket Fighter, Super Puzzle Fighter, etc., what do I prefer, spin-off games or mainline Street Fighter games? Street Fighter, like, spin-off games, I'm not super crazy about a lot of those. Like, I like Puzzle Fighter and Pocket Fighter and all that stuff, but I'm definitely more of a mainline guy. But I'm gonna go third answer here, and actually crossover games are some of my favorite games. Marvel 2, CVS 2, I love those, so that would even be number one above mainline Street Fighter games for me. Nago Clow asks, how janky must a game be to still be enjoyable? All these games are, case in point, games that are still great despite / because of the jank. I think games can be pretty jank, and also, you know, there's different levels of enjoyment, right? Like, I love playing, like, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, for example, which is a fairly jank game that I really, really love. And, like, just playing that game is a blast, but do I want to kind of commit to that game and play it every day like I would a game like Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8? Probably not. I would probably get tired of the jank if that was the only game I played. So yeah, there's different levels of enjoyment, but I think games can be really, really jank and still be enjoyable on some level. It just might not be something that I would try to compete in. Finally, from Nasty Old Try, he asks, what moments would I show someone to get them hype about the FGC? Okay, Evo Moment 37. We all know that one. What about, like, Justin Wong, Cyclops comeback? Leffen versus Goichi, Dragon Ball Fighters, all-time legendary moment.
Goichi does not fight on the reset, and that's a dead 21.
Yo, he got the Dragon Ball. Oh my God! Make the wish.
Did it.
Bring him back. Bring somebody back.
Kane Blue River versus Filipino Champ. I made a whole video about that one because I thought that was really hype. Bionic Arm, Combo Fiend, Marvel 3. That's a classic one.
Bionic Arm. Bionic Arm. OTG. Bionic Arm. Giving Sid. He has another chance.
He's still in it. He's still in it. Bionic
I don't know, guys. There's too many. If you just go to Jmcrofts on YouTube and, I don't know, search for like match or history or whatever, you'll find some entertaining ones. I think there's a nigh infinite amount of hype moments, but those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head right now.